Berserk, the entire current story in anticipation of episode 348 in just 11 minutes. You think to yourself, the entire story in just 11 minutes? It can't be done. And you're right, I'm going to be leaving out loads of important stuff. This is meant for people who have already read the manga, so all Berserk noobs, please leave. Let's go. Bam! Enter the world of Berserk. Guts, the coolest protagonist in the entire history of manga, is seemingly taking a sweet time with a lady of the night, only for her to transform and for him to proceed to blow her brains out. This sets the stage for the dark and gritty world that Guts lives in. It ain't pretty. Most of the time. Skip to Guts intervening in a bar scuffle the next day, only to further show his prowess, and to tell a bandit to let his leader know that he, the Black Swordsman, has indeed arrived. Guts soon finds himself in prison for killing a few men and for endangering the town. He gets tortured a bit, but hey, it's nothing new to him. A baby thing shows up out of nowhere, but we'll forget it for now. Enter Puck, the elf that looks like a fairy. Get over it. We saw Puck earlier, but this is when he gets important. Since Guts saved him, Puck, being the elfy boy he is, returns the favor. Guts is a jerk, as Guts are wont to do, and Puck leaves. Then Guts can sense the Snake Baron with his tattoo. It's not a tattoo though. Bam! Guts uses the key Puck brought him to escape, and Guts ends up killing the Snake Baron, an apostle, under the unknown presence that is the God Hand. Guts is apparently after this God Hand, and appears to be hunting these creatures down in order to get closer to them. Later, Guts is seen walking in the rain and a carriage comes by. A nice old man asks if Guts would like a ride, and after several dismissals by Guts, he eventually hops on board. The old man, Adolf, and his daughter, Colette, are the ones on board. Oh, and Puck is there too. Well, as you'd come to expect at this point, crud goes down. First off, Guts has a dream. Baby-o. He wakes up, kills an incubus that's feeding off his nightmares, and a whole bunch of other demonic spirits appear. Colette dies, then becomes possessed and kills her father. Pretty nice imagery, I agree. Well, Guts fights his way through the spirits and cleaves the possessed girl in half. Sad, then fights for God Hand knows how long until all the skeletons and spirits are defeated. You get the idea. He's chased by these things and can't catch a break. Bam! We see Guts in a new village, and guess what? He's hunting another apostle, the Count, or Jabba, whatever you prefer. The Count is a bad dude, naturally, but before butting heads with the Count, Guts meets a man named Vargas, who happens to possess a special item that once belonged to the Count. We'll learn that this item, as Guts already knows, is linked to the God Hand, and that it's used to grant someone apostleship, and in turn grants them access to meet with the God Hand. Well, Guts has his run-in with the Count and seemingly defeats him, but as these special items known as Beharits or Beolits are meant to do, the Count is granted another chance at life. But he denies it, since he would have to sacrifice his dear daughter to do so. Maybe these apostles aren't all that bad. Guts in this time sees the God Hand. Whoa, so soon. This is what he was after, but appears to be a bit out of his depth and doesn't stand a chance. He seems to have a particular beef with this one member, Griffith. Yeah, he might be an important character later on. Guts takes his chance and fails, and the portal to the other world where the God Hand reside closes. The Count is shown, dead. Guts says some edgy stuff, but then we see his lighter, more human side at the end of this episode. Whew, that's the story of Guts as the Black Swordsman, as we knew it so far. How complex his personality is, and at that, the definition of an edgelord. Well, we'll soon see why all this weird stuff has gone down as we enter the prelude, the Golden Age. Guts is taken up by a man named Gambino after being found underneath his hanged mother's corpse. Way to reset the stage, Mira. Gambino, Guts' new father figure, is the leader of a mercenary band. Nah, more like this. And well, he's an a-hole. Guts still loves him though, and does all he can to make him proud. Well, being the great guy Gambino is, he allows a man to pay a measly 3 silver coins to, check in on Guts. Yikes. Guts can't believe Gambino would do such a thing, but it's confirmed right before Guts kills him in defense. Oh, also he killed Donovan a while before that. After the death of Gambino, Guts goes on the run and fights a bunch of wolves. He's on his own. Fast forward a few years to Guts kicking some butts once again. We see him take down a monster of a man, and we're not the only ones. A bird-like figure too sees him defeat the man named Bazuzo. Guts ends up leaving his current troop and encounters another, only to end up surprisingly losing to a mysterious, yet beautiful and bird-esque figure, Griffith. Guts takes his chance once again, but falls once more at the hand of this girl man, and through this, Guts is now under the command of Griffith, the leader of the Band of the Falcon. Oh, and there's Casca too, but honestly at this point, she's little more than a nuisance. But if we fast forward again a few years later, we see that, wow, Guts is a He's amazing! As we would expect, he's the captain of the Raiders under Griffith, serving essentially as his right-hand man. Guts is unstoppable, till he's stopped by this guy, Nosferatu Zod, an apostle, and the biggest baddie we've seen for some time. A very cool turning point in the story, reaching both back to the very beginning and hinting toward the future. Zod handles the situation, knocks Griffith out, but ends up leaving for an ominous reason. But don't worry, he comes back. Griffith's life is threatened once again, but this time just by a lowly human. He's saved by an egg-type thing hung around his neck. Looks familiar, and it could be important. He has Guts retaliate by assassinating the culprit, Count Julius, aka the biggest jerk we've met so far, and unfortunately murders Julius' son while escaping. He didn't mean to, I promise. Upon completion, and in a bit of a fuzz, Guts hears that Griffith doesn't even consider Guts as his equal, and that they're not even friends. How could you say that, Griffo? Not a great day for our boy. This sticks with Guts, but he doesn't act on it for some time. Some more cool battles go down, Casca and Guts share a moment. Someone helps Guts out in a time of need, a queen dies, and all is perfect. Guts and Griffith against the world, as it should be. Or is it? Sometime after the queen's death, Guts decides to leave, to find his own path. Griffith naturally tries to stop him, but Guts barely has to try to overcome that obstacle. Guts leaves and later meets a skeleton that tells him some unfortunate information. I guess Guts just shrugs that off. No one believes in skeletons these days. Griffith, more defeated than he ever could be on any battlefield, tries to find comfort in the loss of his favorite person, other than himself. He takes it pretty hard, and he meets up with the princess. This bites him in the butt, and the king has him tortured. The king also goes full pedo on his daughter. Never go full pedo. Or any at all, really. Anyway, Griffith hangs out for about a year. Guts has been soul-searching for this year, and seems to have come up a little short. Later he fights some dudes tournament style, and hears of the Band of the Falcon, and gets that they might need some help. Guts comes back, and goes to rescue him. Guts, Casca, and a few others get to Griffith, and we see the torture he's had to endure. Guts can barely believe it. They try to escape with Griffith, and encounter some hurdles along the way, including these things, and this thing, oh, and this guy again. Whew. But eventually, they make it out fine. Oh wait, did I say fine? Ah, right, I meant worse than any of them could possibly imagine. Eclipse time! Griffith sacrifices the Band of the Falcon to be incarnated as a God Hand member and can now pursue his dream freely. Good for him. Bad for everybody else. Although Skull Knight intervenes and Guts and Casca make it out alive, but not before Guts loses his eye and arm, and Casca is taken advantage of right before his eyes by his best friend. But it's no big deal, because look who's back! Ah, right, here we go. So after that Eclipse thing, SK and Zod put their fight on hold. Casca has a baby, Guts heals up, gets a sword, Rickard makes him an arm replacement that's even better than a real arm, and after Guts kills his first apostle since the Dark Day, he sets off on a path of revenge, leaving the stupefied Casca in the safety of Godo, Erica, and Rickard. And then bam, we go back to the beginning of the story. He's an edgelordsman once again. Black swordsman, I mean. I'm excited. So after he killed the Count back in the beginning, Guts finds himself saving this girl from a tree. How nice of him. Oh yeah, Puck is there too. So since we're pressed for time, this girl's masquerading as an elf queen, and it turns out the missing children have been turned into pseudo-apostles that just happen to look kind of like elves. Yeah, pretty tragic. It's even more tragic that they all kill and rape each other for fun. Okay, well Guts is able to kick Rosine's butt. It was a cool fight, but we don't have time for that. Bugs are killed and an egg is eaten, but watch out, this dog haunts Guts' thoughts and might pounce at any minute. Okay, faster. Boom, enter these guys, Holy Iron Chain Knights. Farnese, what's up? This lady has some issues, but whatever. Serpico, her right-hand guy, turns out to be her brother. Wow, well, half-brother, and his mom died by fire. Anyway, Farnese captures Guts, but at one point gets kidnapped by Guts and almost wrapped by a horse. Lovely. Horse dies and then Farnese herself becomes possessed and seduces Guts. Lovely times two. She snaps out of it and they continue on. Griffith starts showing up in people's dreams, including that old disgusting King's, Charlotte's too. We see this guy, and boy can I not wait for him. And this time, Guts learns that Casca might be in danger. Spoiler alert, she is! He escapes the Hicks and goes back to Godo's to find that Casca isn't there. Big surprise. Uh-oh, Guts has his items repaired, gets a bit of an upgrade, and he leaves. Guts goes through a town, kills some cushions, and contracts a parasite known as a Cedro. That's not the worst of it though. Guts also learns that another eclipse-like event will happen soon, and realizes he might not have much time to save his beloved. Some explanation goes down and blah blah blah. All we want to see is Moscas get destroyed by Guts. And well, it's about to happen. But first we need to address this thing. Oh, not yet. We see Casca as a prostitute. Okay, she's not, thank God. And then I will not talk about Nina. I shouldn't have even said her name. Guts and Isidro do some baller stuff, and Casca is somewhat rescued. Okay, the egg thing. Oh, nope, not yet. Guts and Serpico have this cool standoff, and then whoosh. Oh, never mind. Okay, so the baby protects Casca from death. And then the Egg Apostle. Not yet. Okay, and then these dudes transform, and stuff literally gets crazy. Mazgus and the gang are now pseudo-apostles. Congratulations, the ceremony is approaching, and Guts still hasn't been able to slow the train. But then out of nowhere, the Egg Apostle. What, you're not gonna stop me this time? No use. Before that, Skull Knight saves Luca being the good guy he is and fights with the Egg Apostle. Oh wait, is this the thing? Sweet, we're there now. Oh, not yet? Fine. Guts fights Mazgus Shonen style, where the incarnation ceremony continues, beats him, and is reunited with Casca. Yay! Now what about the stupid egg thing? Oh yeah, it eats Demon Baby and becomes Griffith. Alright, well, that was that arc. A whole lot of stuff happened. Even stuff I never even mentioned, like Zod kneeling to Griffith and Farnese going after Guts. Could you follow? I hope so. It was one of my favorites. This next one will probably go by even faster, so stay buckled up. Falcon of the Millennium Empire. Boys and girls, the chapter I've all been waiting for. So as you know, Griffith is back, but it's not Griffith, but it is, and Guts actually sees him, but Zod stands in the way, and they fight, but then they leave. The end. Just kidding. Griffith recruits some dudes and Casca and Guts go off together, hopefully to find a way to help Casca with her brain situation. Guts and the Beast of Darkness cross paths again, and because of that, Casca no longer trusts our main man. The others find Guts, and boom, we have a D&D campaign in its early stages. All we need is a spellcaster. Oh, nice of you to show up. They all head to this mystical place and Guts learns some stuff, important stuff, and honestly not something he wants to hear. The Beharit from the Count, yeah, probably won't be of any use to him, but the gang does get a few useful things, so that's nice. They go to this village and it turns out there's some trolls terrorizing citizens. Are you ready? Roll for initiative. Enoch Village is destroyed, but saved. Nice job, guys. Level up. That's not the end of it though. They proceed to the Heart of Darkness, where the trolls reside. Guts is in a darker place still. Quiet. Do you hear it? It's Guts, having the time of his life. No wait, it's him receiving an astral wound from a physical manifestation of Slan through the use of intestines. She asks, ever so politely, for him to give in to using the Beharit, but Guts isn't one to succumb to pillow talk. Skull Knight shows up, and Guts destroys the manifestation of Slan. But don't let that get your hopes up, she's probably fine. Oh, who am I kidding? You all love Slan. Whoa, what a sword! What's it made out of? Eggs? Oh, okay. The gang go back to the treehouse, and Guts gets healed up. Not enough to handle what was next to come, though. The forest is under attack, and Guts can't see a way out. But there's something waiting, just for him. Something dark. Something powerful. Something Berserk! Guts dons this armor and goes, and Shirka prevents him and the Beast of Darkness from truly effing everything up for Tada, and they escape, losing Shirka's mistress along the way. Flora's a lifesaver, but poor Shirka, I can't stand to see her cry. Whatever. A while later, there's the beach. Everybody chills. The whole gang. All 7 of them. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's that kid? It can't be anyone we've already seen. Bam, bam, boom. More fights, more Berserk, more crocodiles, blind fury, Guts, and the biggest rage of his life. Who could possibly snap him out of it? Oh no, you don't say. Alright then. Some stuff about Farnese or whatever happens, but I really, truly, and honestly didn't pay too much attention here. And then while my eyes were glazed over, I stopped drooling for a moment and saw Serpico challenging Guts to another confrontation. I dug the crust out of my eyes and sat up straight and smiled with delight. I got to see Guts demolish Serpico at his own cheap game. So cool. Oh, alright, back to this. Oh no, wait, it's still cool! Tiger fight! Meanwhile, a cloud declares war. Daka, our maid, Guts fights, goes berserk as usual, but hey, this time he really snaps out of it, and we can see his eyes. Oh wait, no, still just one. The cloud Ganishka proves to be a great adversary. So great that Zod and Guts have to team up to slice through him. No big deal. Wait, what? That's literally the coolest thing to happen so far. Oh yeah. Some other fight stuff goes down, and Ganishka activates his man-made Beharit. Why so many Beharits? Can't you just be happy with your current form? No, apparently you have to go and become a walking tree. Griffith and Skull Knight meet atop Ganishka in this form, and as Skull Knight slashes with his Beharit sword, Griffith uses his space-altering properties against him, slicing Ganishka instead, enacting a giant overlap of the planes of existence, merging the astral and physical worlds. Makes sense to me. Makes so much sense that a city was made with it. Good going, Skull Knight. Guts feels this wave while on Roderick's boat, heading to find a way to heal Casca. And that's it for the Falcon of the Lemonium Empire. Except also this guy showed up. But who cares? Up next, the road to high fantasy. What we've all been waiting for. The boat and the gang come across an island. There's a girl, and there's also a baddie hidden deep within a cave. Not just any baddie, a god! Guts kills it. It was cool, or at least I thought so. Guts gets helped out by this thing again, and also a bunch of hot marrows, and afterward, they set sail, once again, with Isma tagging along. Cut to Falconia. Wow, such a sight. Ricker finds it difficult to come to terms with Griffith's actions, but eventually does. Also, we learn about the situation of the apostles, and honestly, nothing seems that bad. It all seems manageable right now. I just hope Griffith sees it the same way. Well then, Rakshas puts a dent in things and chases Rickert and Co. away. Apparently laying waste to the king's face is a no-no. Cut back to the boat gang. By the way, this part of the story and recap may seem really quick, but trust me, it was the longest eternity of my life. Anyway, we arrive in Skellig, the land said to hold the power to bring Casca back. Sweet! Danan is Daman, except she's a woman. Anyway, Berserk goes, congrats, cut short, but that's where we are. We're here. It's been a long journey, but we're finally about to begin the journey to hopefully freeing Casca's mind, and ultimately giving Guts little reason to continue. Once Casca's back, it's just gonna be city from then on out. Who's got time for killing Griffith when you've gotta make 1,000 more babies? I'm happy to be at this point, guys. And while this obviously doesn't represent the story as a whole, I hope you enjoyed the recap. I'll catch you guys in this coming Berserk Weekly. Have a great life, and may the God Hand bless you with a fist bump.